Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. It is Thursday, the 26th day of March, what has turned out to be a very beautiful day across the neighborhood weather-wise, and we hope otherwise as well for you. We'll have some remarks on our weather, not just in our forecast, but how it also pertains to social distancing, as we'll turn to remarks from our governor in just a few moments. Local officials tonight, several updates, a lot of new information, as there is practically every day, every hour in this particular time in history, locally and across the state. A lot of important details to get to you. We'll talk about pet adoption locally and across the nation, talk to our local officials, and have a host of other news and information. Let's go ahead and get right to it. I spoke with, just a few seconds ago, the Department of Public Health Director and Mayor Pete Shepard. Recent testing has still all turned up negative results for McGoffin County. That the most recent update coming from the Department of Public Health to him just a few moments ago. Testing continues to be done on a small scale, just as it's needed, of course, for those who are deemed to meet the criteria. But as those tests are done, still we are glad to report all negative cases done here in Sagersville and McGoffin County. Pete Shepard also did tell me, however, they had just returned from Pikeville with a new shipment of personal protective equipment, PPE, that will be distributed to our local healthcare providers very, very soon. I also talked with Superintendent of Schools Scott Helton, just as a reminder that while it's spring break coming up soon, I said next week on the calendar, I believe. Regardless, they will continue to have the school feeding program during that official spring break period, even though it's not going to be recognized in the normal manner. But the feeding program goes on regardless of the calendar. In other news, I also spoke with McGoffin County Judge Executive Matt Wireman, but before that, one of his topics of discussion with me centered around a report that came out today. Finally, some good news. McGoffin County is often, when you read about us at the national level, more often than not, it's because we have the highest consistent unemployment rate in the entire nation. Well, today, in the entire state of Kentucky, we ranked first in a good way. And it appears as though we are doing our part to keep social distancing a thing here in McGoffin County. It's now been confirmed via the following data from a corporation called Unicast and their social distancing scoreboard. It's a human mobility data firm, as they're labeled, that goes by the name of Unicast, and this is their social distancing scoreboard, as they have released, scoring the state of Kentucky, scoring the nation, and scoring individual counties within states as well. As for the Commonwealth of Kentucky, we scored a B, not too shabby, for how well we are staying home and staying away from each other to the tune of at least 6 feet or more, practicing good, smart social distancing. Now, as far as how they came up with all of these numbers, they have calculation methods of determining, based on your cell phone location, the change in the average distance you travel by using GPS data from tens and hundreds of millions of smartphones across the nation. They took that data and they went back to a starting point of March the 20th to use as its jump-off point. And then from there, they have closely watched and averaged out the typical movement in distance that we all have based on the GPS data that's being transmitted from our phones. Kentucky, as a whole, saw about a 35% decrease in average distance traveled by its citizens. And once again, that ranks Kentucky as a B. And out of 120 Kentucky counties, McGoffin County is doing something very, very, very right. We had a decrease of movement to the tune of 62%, according to their social distancing scoreboard, which ranks Kentucky, per their numbers, first in the entire state in regards to social distancing, as it is being measured per their data and methods. Also ranking in the top 5, neighboring Morgan County. At the bottom of the list, Lyon County, Kentucky, which actually increased to the tune of about 31%. And on the heels of that report, Judge Executive Matt Wireman said he was essentially thrilled with that number 1 designation, but he wanted to take the following few seconds to stress that that particular data was only a mere snapshot in time. one day, if you will, and stress that we should all continue not only along the same processes and guidelines that we're following, but to even increase those and not let our guard down.
Yeah, it was good news. It was something positive amidst all this negative stuff that we see every day when we see the national and global news. To see that people in McGoffin County are doing what they need to do as far as social distancing goes, and as far as this study goes. As I understand it, that was just a snapshot in time, comparing I think it was March the 20th to a day. Uh, a similar day in prior weeks, and we happen to be the best in the state, and that's great. But the thing that I learned today from the governor is we had a report this morning from the governor, and we have got to intensify our social distancing. So what we've been doing is working. He gave us information that should Kentucky have followed the same trend as New York, based on comparing their population to their positive test and our population, had we had that same trend, we would have had over 7,000 cases. So what the governor's doing is working. We don't know what the results will be today. We're right at 200. I'm sure we'll have 30 or 40 more. But we are still way below what the trend data is in New York. And so I can't encourage everyone enough to continue to do the social distancing and follow all those CDC guidelines, because we don't want that wave coming through here and our hospitals being run over and our old folks and people that are in that vulnerable category, whether they're old or not, being put in danger.
Today's update, a portion thereof it at least, from the governor in just a few moments, but it was indeed another day of increases for Kentucky COVID-19 cases. Before the governor began his update by mid-morning, we knew of an additional 5 cases just in one Kentucky county alone, which also included one case involving another small child. Following Governor Beshear's update last evening at 5, the Lexington-Fayette County Health Department today officially confirmed another 5 cases in the Lexington area. That means that Kentucky's second largest city, behind, of course, Jefferson, has now 42 confirmed cases, and that bringing Kentucky's total to 224 as of this morning. And, of course, that number expected to be higher during the 5 o'clock address by the governor this evening, as of early this morning, COVID-19 had made its way into 39 of Kentucky's counties. Also being confirmed today through the governor's office prior to his 5 o'clock announcement, one of those 5 new cases in Fayette County was confirmed as a 3-year-old boy. While other data indicates that the number of cases in Kentucky is slightly but greater in women than men, that Kentuckians in their 60s is the largest group that has been affected by COVID-19, but that the highest increase in any particular age group is with Kentuckians in their 20s, increasing 28 times over the course of just 1 week, while the group of Kentuckians in their 60s saw an increase of only 2.5 times. That's both startling and troubling. Now for his most recent 5 o'clock update, that being today's, where the governor took into consideration those numbers and new numbers, which did give Kentucky its single largest one-day increase thus far. However, there was some good news by means of no new deaths, even though there is one person in Kentucky right now that's closely being watched and prayed for.
Largest increase in a day, though it is not escalating as quickly as other states. And I'm proud to report today that we have no new deaths, though we will have somebody who is holding on the next couple days, and we are afraid we may lose. So as of today, we believe we have 248 positive tests of the coronavirus, which is 50 new cases. We have at least 2 in Boone, 1 in Callaway, 2 in Christian, 2 in Clark, 1 in Davis, 9 in Fayette, 1 in Harrison, 1 in Hopkins, 14 in Jefferson, 4 in Jessamine, 2 in Madison, 1 in Mason, 1 in Mercer, one in Pulaski, one in Union, one in Webster, and we have 6 that are unconfirmed. Remember, with more labs coming on each day and having different times that those labs report to us, our numbers at different times will be ahead or behind of other sources that come in. My goal is to give you the absolute best number that I can each and every day, but it will change. And I do want to say that there are people of all ages that are getting the coronavirus in Kentucky. You know, I've said before that especially kids seem resilient. That's resilient to the harm. It is not resilient to having the virus. And it still can harm people of all ages, so it's really important, especially for our young adults and for our teens, to know the consequences their actions can have.
Of those 50 new confirmed cases since yesterday, Boone, Callaway, Christian, Hopkins, Jefferson, Mercer, Webster, Union, several other counties, no other eastern Kentucky counties that he could confirm was added or were added to that list today. Eastern Kentucky counties still in this particular category are Breathitt, Martin, and Menifee counties. A couple of other things, though, he did touch on with the warm weather, folks getting out, mowing lawns, cabin fever, and going to areas such as parks. The governor is urging local officials to monitor our Ramey Park and other park areas, our state parks as well, not to make sure that they're not being used. He encourages everyone to get out, but to, if you do, practice extreme and definite social distancing. Not necessarily extreme, but you understand the minimum requirements of at least 6 feet apart, if not greater, at all times. And in lieu of the warmer weather and folks getting out and trying to do some things, get back to normalcy, he says we still have to, above all, as you heard, now more than ever, and certainly for the next 2 weeks, continue to social distance ourselves. He also confirmed the first case in a Kentucky nursing home of COVID-19, a 90-year-old man in a Perry County nursing home which has tested positive. All we know at this time is that he has been taken to another location for treatment, and that our thoughts and prayers are with he and his family, but also the first case, positive case in a Kentucky nursing home. More news in just a second. A message from the Fraser's Prater Drug Store and Seasonal Shop families. Prater Drug wants you to know that you can now call, use Facebook, or use our Refill RX app to get your prescriptions refilled. And the drugstore also has designated curbside pickup parking in front of and behind the store. Simply call 349-3135. And at the Seasonal Shop, they're still posting new arrivals and taking orders with free shipping on most everything anywhere in the entire United States. And they're offering scheduled curbside pickup. Just call 349-3223. Fraser's Prater Drug Store and the Seasonal Shop says let's all do what we can to help and protect our neighbors and loved ones. Creekside Stitching and Feed is the place to go for all of your custom embroidery needs. Shirts, caps, jackets, and more. And they've got the best prices on value-packed dog food, blue ribbon beef mix, kickin' chicken, and shell and cracked corn. And premium quality gates, hay rings, and bunk feeders, plus metal carports and garages as low as $1,400 installed. For all of your embroidery, feed, and farm supplies, Creekside Stitching and Feed. 1 mile up Bear Branch off of Route 30.
At work, we do a lot of live shows with crowds. I used to sit up there and not really know who was looking at me. I was finally tired of contacts and glasses, tired of paying for contacts, and I just decided I need to get these eyes fixed. Able Eyes was great. If someone asked me if they should get LASIK, I would absolutely recommend it. At first, like many people, I'm hesitant, but after going to Able Eyes and they walk me through it, I know that it's a quick and painless process, and I recommend going to Able Eyes. They were the best.
Right now, you can take advantage of their lowest prices of the year at $1,800 per eye.
At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National. If your spring projects include gravel, rock, sand, or drainage pipe, your dollar will go farther at Tomahawk Feed and Farm Supply here in Sayersville. It's always in stock and ready for pickup and delivery. And now there's 2 locations for all of your feed and farm needs. Tomahawk has the region's largest inventory and lowest prices on all pet and livestock feed, gates, fencing, and everything your farm needs. In Sayersville off 114 at Red Light number 4, and in West Liberty on Liberty Road behind the Ford store. Tomahawk Feed and Farm Supply. Magoffin County Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration with professional, licensed, and certified commercial and residential service technicians that can maintain and repair all manufacturers with new and old installation and financing available. Serving Magoffin, Morgan, Lawrence, Martin, Johnson, Floyd, and Breathitt counties. Magoffin County Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration, 349-1058 or 225-6779. Well, here's a little something for you, a little bit of a teaser for one of tomorrow's stories. Per CDC guidelines and the governor's orders declaring that the Johnson County Animal Shelter and others like it can remain open for business if they practice all needed and mandated guidelines, you can still adopt a pet. And in fact, you need to, perhaps now as much as, if not more, than ever. So I want to give to you tonight, or introduce to you tonight, little Evie, and let you see what I'll be covering on tomorrow night's program in regards to how things are going right now at the Johnson County Animal Shelter. You know, our trip to the Johnson County Animal Shelter last night was partially motivated out of the fact that we lost our pet cat a few months ago to stray dogs, to be quite honest, that had killed him while he was sleeping in his own bed on his own porch. Nevertheless, the other reason or motivation that we had was that, well, both kids are going to be home for quite a while. And Lacey home perhaps all the way till August when school starts back. So it was a good time to seek another pet. And while over there last evening, I couldn't help but wonder if indeed adoptions were up for the same reason for a lot of other folks. And in fact, when I started researching today around the nation, that's a trend. A lot of adoptions being seen from animal shelters all over the country as folks are spending more time at home, maybe looking for something else to direct their love and attention to, and for whatever other reason. So, we will be talking tomorrow with Lisa over at the Johnson County Animal Shelter. They've actually had a couple of things happen. With the Canadian border being shut down, they send a lot of dogs to rescue groups in Canada. And that's not happening right now. And there are a lot of other factors that they're facing as well. So we'll check in with them, see maybe who they have over there that you might want to take home with you, as they are still able to operate. As we did last evening, practicing social distancing, they're scheduling appointments to where you're the only person or persons there, and adoptions are still able to take place. Look for more on tomorrow's show. With that, tonight's Magoffin Farm Bureau Community Calendar, a quick reminder about the spring cleanup campaign, county and citywide, and then a couple of announcements thereafter. All brought to you by Magoffin Farm Bureau. Tomorrow wraps up the District 2 collection week for the Magoffin County Spring Cleanup Campaign. Crews will be out next week in District 1, the following week in District 3, picking up anything essentially but hazardous waste, construction, debris, paint, things of that nature, or household debris. And there, of course, one more time is your breakdown of District 1 as it's in the red, District 2 in the blue, and District 3 in the green, just to remind everyone. And also to remind everyone, as I had an interview with a representative on yesterday's show from the Kentucky Blood Center, they will be having a blood drive. They need you to show up. They need you to be at the Sayersville First Baptist Church from 1 to 5, and they are making sure that they are doing it in a completely safe and appropriate manner in regards to, of course, the pandemic that we are experiencing. And remember, if you have an announcement for your church group, nonprofit organization, it will be right at home on our calendar. Just as I tell you every night, if you have a calendar announcement, birthdays and anniversaries, tell me nightly, and I'll tell everyone about it. Funeral announcements provided nightly by the Magoffin County Funeral Home, and tonight's is for 61-year-old Pango Bailey, James Pango Bailey, who from Royalton passed away day before yesterday, survived by his wife Janice Rife Bailey. He's preceded by his son Amos Joshua Bailey, but survived by brothers Robert Shepard and Lacey Bailey and sister Kathy Bailey of Paducah, Kentucky. Graveside services, private graveside services, will be held tomorrow at the Nelson Allen Cemetery at Gunlock, while the McGoffin County Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Once again, services graveside tomorrow for James Pango Bailey of Royalton. Right now at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe, as is with all other restaurants, our dining area is closed, but our drive-thru is open, and we also have available to you a drive-thru lane to the left when you enter the parking lot and a prepaid lane to the right, and also a prepaid parking area if you wish to call and pay ahead before you arrive. And you can also arrive and get $5 off either a 16 or a 20-piece family pack. That's 16 or 20 pieces of chicken any way you like it, and all the sides. $5 off. For example, a 20-piece family pack can feed anywhere from 6 to 7 to 10 people for less than $40 after the $5 coupon. And that's with tax. At your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where we're dedicated to making your visit as smooth and quick and pleasant as possible. Call ahead or drive through.
I'm Bill Tinker. I've spent the past 19 years defending insurance companies in car crashes, truck crashes, and slip and falls. Are you involved in a case like that? Is the insurance company giving you the runaround about your medical bills, your benefits, or your lost wages? Contact me at McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
The coverage you need when you need it most. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
With decades of experience and happy customers all over Kentucky, All Pro Gutter Works and Construction is now proud to offer long-term and 0% financing on their home improvements and home construction. That's new windows and floors, new bathrooms and kitchens, new roofs, siding, decks and porches, new turnkey homes and offices, and of course, continuous guttering in 21 colors. Locally, family owned and operated, and waiting on your next project and phone call. All Pro Gutter Works. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. Come to Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville and get your prescriptions filled, your over-the-counter medications, and immune system boosters, all from the safety and comfort of your own vehicle, either in their drive-thru or with their new curbside service. You can also call ahead or just download the MyGNP app, that's Good Neighbor Pharmacy, and refill and manage your prescriptions right from your device, helping you and yours stay healthy and safe. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400. Need an oil change? Are your brakes shot? Are you ready to turn the wick up on your diesel or lift up and accessorize your 4x4? Or get that dent fixed once and for all? Then call the professionals at Black Smoke Performance for all of your maintenance needs and auto body repair, from insurance collisions to full restoration projects. Black Smoke Performance on May Drive in Dixie of Sagersville, 349-8785. And just grabbing a few other headlines from across our state and nation, St. Clair Healthcare in Moorhead laying off 300 employees. I've also spoke with various other local and area healthcare providers who as well are laying off significant numbers of employees, as they, even though they are on the front lines and are, of course, dealing with COVID-19 directly, also seeing their normal business or clients and patients as well not come in on a normal basis, and they too are forced with making many layoffs. Now, on the unemployment note, a record 3.28 million Americans filed for unemployment just last week, almost 49,000 just here in Kentucky. The week before that, 2,700 people in Kentucky had filed for unemployment. Last week's spike nationwide broke the record that was set back in 1982 when about 700,000 Americans filed for unemployment. And just a couple of other things, of course, we've been following closely the stimulus package, which we believe will be voted on tomorrow. As Democrats are set to vote tomorrow, why not today? That's a good question. I cannot say. But in that stimulus package, I've covered in part, and we're finding out more. Unemployment benefits expanded to include contract workers and the like. And while the maximum unemployment check in Kentucky allowable is $552, regardless of whatever you would normally get for your unemployment, there's another $600 to be added on to that as soon as that is approved, of course, at our nation's capital. Also, as far as small business loans or grants, as they are going to be determined for small businesses, there is $350 to $75 billion that's been set aside for small businesses who will be able to make payroll and cover operating costs as long as they agree to not lay off their employees. Your bank should start to get some of that preliminary information, as it will be going through banks maybe as soon as tomorrow. I urge you to check with your financial institution and follow up on that. Toyota Manufacturing shutting down for an additional 2 weeks. Attorney General Cameron issuing subpoenas to third-party sellers through Amazon for price gouging, some as much as 2,000%. Nothing said there, or to say on that. The Dow did see a surge today on the heels of the stimulus package, more than $2 trillion, on the verge of being passed, and of course made its way through the Senate, 96 to zip. The House of Representatives again set to vote tomorrow, while U.S. cases of COVID-19 as of today, this morning at least, 510,108 in total. It also, that is, I should say, worldwide, obviously, 510,000 worldwide in over 170 countries, 21,571 deaths worldwide, mind you. In the United States, we have seen 69,000 cases and 1,046 deaths. New York continues to lead the country with the greatest number of cases at over 33,000. Next is New Jersey at 4,400. Here's tonight's Licking Valley RACC Outlook, which is going to have to really go a long way to try to beat today's conditions. But we might on a couple of occasions.
It will continue to be dry for the rest of your Thursday, and we'll see a low. I use that word loosely because it's going to be 61 degrees tonight. Comfortable, nice, great evening to sit out on the porch 6 feet away from each other. Partly cloudy skies and a southwesterly wind 8 to 17 miles per hour. So a little bit breezy, but definitely a nice mild evening. Tomorrow for your Friday, even though we'll see 72 in the 70s again, we're going to see scattered showers, mainly after 8 in the morning. We'll see a 50% chance, and pretty much that same chance throughout the rest of your Friday. Winds tomorrow coming out of the southwest up to 15 miles per hour or so. Showers on and off, mainly before 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So cloudy, a little slight breezy, and somewhat shower-filled Friday, albeit 72 degrees. However, in time for your weekend, we'll see a bit of a break in the action, at least. We're going to see close to 81 degrees on your Saturday, if not 81 or 82. We'll see mostly cloudy skies, though, and I think we'll see a dry start to your Saturday. 10% chance of showers after 4. I'm hoping we won't see those showers and maybe maybe even some thunderstorms until late Saturday night, which would mean we wouldn't see any sun, but we'd see the 80s and cloudy skies, which is fine with me, accompanied by a southwesterly wind 5 to 22 miles per hour. We'll know more about the timing on tomorrow for Saturday's forecast, but right now I think the showers might hold off until later in the evening or overnight Saturday, and then maybe be out of here by the time Sunday rolls around. That front will knock us down temperature-wise from the low 80s to the upper 60s by Sunday, but look at Sunday. Maybe some showers early, like before 8 or 9 a.m., but otherwise thereafter, mostly sunny, clear, and 67 degrees. Sunday night, 47, partly cloudy. Monday of next week, not too bad. Mostly sunny and 62. We're going to hover in the upper 50s, low 60s for the rest or most of all of next week right now. Mostly cloudy, showers on Tuesday and 57. A little sunshine Wednesday in the low 60s, but still a chance of showers and similar conditions on your Thursday.
It's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you, as always, for being here. Stay in, stay safe, stay apart as much as possible, 6 feet, certainly, when you get out of the house and are mingling amongst others in the community. But don't do that unless you absolutely have to. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.